Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. You got the Spittin' Seeds team here. As you can tell, we are short one member. Flem is out taking care of his firstborn kid that was just born a couple days ago. So good luck, best wishes to Flem. Got my guy Beard here. I'm Beeve. And then the one, the only John Thrasher coming to join us, man. How you doing today? Appreciate you jumping on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, better than we deserve, man. Better than we deserve. Talking a little baseball after hours, just a couple new dads and enjoying a little ball, man. So couldn't be much better.
Yes, sir.
So, John, obviously, first question we got to ask, you even said it yourself, went out with quite the bang. How are you feeling? Are you doing all right?
Yeah. Obviously, a little scary moment. Watching the replays, it's crazy. I didn't realize I went in that hard into the wall, but I would have done it for any pitcher, any one of my teammates. Pretty crazy, surreal moment going out like that. But I mean, thankfully I'm okay. No neck injuries, nothing like that. Just a little concussed.
So you did get a concussion then? We were curious if you just got the wind knocked out or if you had a concussion.
Yeah. So I hit the wall, obviously at full speed, as everybody saw, and then I blacked out, woke up my teammate shaking me. So, yeah, got a concussion from it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man, that's you're definitely a full bore guy. I'll give you that. And man, that's a pitcher's best friend right there. He had a heck of a gen too. So no, man, that's great to see. Really a shame that had to happen. Though, really hate the injury piece, especially when it comes down to your last game as a collegiate player there. You and Chase Estep both, man. Mr. Kentucky not being able to be there for the last game too. I mean, I really hate that. You guys were the heart and soul of the team. I mean, it was plain to see.
Yeah, so I saw that injury from my hotel room when I was watching the game, and right when that happened, I was like, "Oh no, it's the last thing we need right now."
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, he's good though. He just got a sprained ankle, but he'll be back. He's good.
That's good. That's good. So, digging into it a little bit, obviously you've had a little bit of a unique experience. You had an absolutely stellar career up there at Hartford, playing for one of hometown schools and all of that good stuff. You got to graduate and then made the decision to transfer to Kentucky. So, what was your degree in that you graduated with out of Hartford?
Yeah, so I double majored. I did finance and insurance risk management.
Gotcha. So did that have a part to play with where you were looking to transfer to for your graduate degree?
Somewhat. I know wherever I ended up, I wanted to pursue graduate studies in that field. And I'm doing my MBA at Kentucky right now, so I have another year of that. It played somewhat of a factor. I kind of wanted the best of both worlds, like best baseball experience and school experience, and they have a very good business school and a very competitive program. So I feel like I really lucked out with getting the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you went into making the decision to transfer, what went into that? Obviously, you were saying what could be there academically and baseball wise. Were there other suitors? What was the decision to head out?
Yeah. I mean, we had a little kind of unique scenario. My old school actually announced they were downgrading athletics and dropping divisions. So I went from like a mid-major program that decided to end up dropping down to Division III in the next couple of years. So a lot of my teammates and people I've been playing with for 3 or 4 years entered the portal. And I believe I was probably one of the last people to enter the portal. And I mean, it had nothing to do with my coaches or anything like that. It really just kind of was the whole athletic scenario at the school.
Right.
And obviously, I'd come off a really strong year there, and I knew, not that I got like all I could out of it, but I knew I could play in a better, more competitive environment. And I really just wanted to kind of branch out and experience a new part of the country. I mean, I went to school an hour and a half away, and now I'm 11 and a half hours away. So I feel like that too, having that piece of like being independent and really just like kind of finding myself played somewhat of a factor. But yeah, I mean, it had nothing to do with the coaches or anything. I really just kind of wanted to grow as an individual and put myself in the best scenario for school and baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's about as unique of a situation for transferring as you can potentially find. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. Kudos to you for hanging on. I don't know if I'd have the demeanor to be able to handle that. So, obviously, we got to talk about that. Was there anywhere else other than Kentucky that you were looking at then?
Yeah, I was really only in there for maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. I had a couple schools up here reach out to me. Some other pretty powerful baseball schools reach out to me. But I did my first, I guess, on the phone interview recruiting thing with my hitting coach at Kentucky. And I feel like really right away we just built that good relationship. And then I ended up meeting with the head coach, Coach Mingione, and that went really well. So I feel like after that, my heart was really just set on that because I connected so well with them. But yeah, there were definitely other schools that I was kind of feeling out for, but I feel like my initial connection with the two of them really kind of put them at the top of my interest and where I wanted to end up.
Man, Coach Mingione, I mean, even being able to watch him on screen there during the SEC tournament, he got a lot more camera time. I mean, he looks like an ultra likable guy. What's his coaching style?
Yeah, I mean, he reiterated this all the time this year that, he trusts us and has like all his trust in the players and for us to just perform at our best ability. And I mean, he was pretty hands-off for the most part. I mean, obviously there were plays and scenarios where he got a little more vocal and, got on some guys. But for the most part, it was really hands-off, and he just let the players play. And, I think that's one of the best styles of coaching. Because at the end of the day, it's us who are making the plays and making the pitches. And it's definitely difficult having, an outside factor just yelling at you and all of that with all that pressure. But I think really just the hands-off approach was great for us, especially down the stretch in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously going from a school like Hartford, which, was a good mid-major program that obviously you said was downgrading, jumping up to the SEC. What was that jump in competition like for you?
Yeah. I mean, the SEC is the best conference in America. And, me being from Connecticut, especially at a mid-major, I think really the biggest thing for me was like the pace of play and the pitching. I mean, the pitching was remarkable. I mean, you face guys every weekend who are throwing 95 and over. You're facing first-rounders every weekend. The defense is unbelievable. Plays are being made all over. And it's really good, crisp baseball. And I think just like the speed of the game and everything, that was the biggest adjustment for me. Especially, I mean, even me being a fifth year, it was just such a eye-opening thing for me. But I feel like after a little while, I was right there with them, and I felt like I belonged at least.
Yeah, for sure. And then you said that you have one more year for your MBA there at Kentucky. Obviously, if you've exhausted your eligibility, are you exploring your draft options? Or are you not looking to go that route? Are you looking more to develop into your career?
Yeah, I'm kind of at a unique point where, like you said, I mean, I don't have any eligibility left. I just have school at this point. I'm really just taking the approach of if I have an opportunity to continue playing, then I'll take it. Obviously, I love baseball. I've been playing it my whole life, and I really don't want it to end. But I feel like I've set myself up really well. If baseball does happen to end for me, I feel like I've set myself up really well for my future and whatever career that may be.
If you stay to finish your MBA and everything there at Kentucky, have you thought about talking to Coach Mingione about coming on as a volunteer assistant, getting into coaching? Is that something that could be done along for you too?
I haven't thought about it. You're actually like probably like the fourth or fifth person to ask me that. I haven't really thought about it. My school, my school next year is online. So the plan as of right now is to come back to Connecticut and kind of just, if baseball doesn't happen, just kind of figure out my next step. But I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to being a volunteer or something like that, just to stay involved, especially with all my friends that I created these friendships with these past couple months. It'd be a cool opportunity, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Matt, sorry, I know I've been dominating the time in the questions here. I know you got some stuff you want to get out.
No, you're fine. And I want to specify, he said volunteer as in help Kentucky, not come down to Knoxville.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of Tennessee and Knoxville, you guys were the only team this year to take a series from Tennessee. What was that week like headed up to it? What made that happen for you guys that weekend? What gave you guys the ability to take down Tennessee 2 out of 3 times there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really just started with the coaches just telling us to believe in ourselves and believe in the team. I mean, we've been playing good baseball. We've been hanging right with people. And then, here and there, things don't go our way. We lose a game by 1 or 2, even with the, top tier SEC teams. And I really think that we just had a belief that we could beat them, and we executed everything perfectly. I mean, with a team like that, who's just an absolute powerhouse, and, all the respect to them, they're a very good team. I think really we just played our best weekend, and there were 3 good games. I mean, those were 3 good college baseball games. And finally we got the breaks that we weren't getting originally, like late or earlier on in the year. We were executing at a really high level, and I think really just everything fell into place perfectly. And that's what it takes to beat a team like that. I mean, they have 7 losses on the year, and you just have to play perfect. And I think 2 of the games we did, and then the last game we were hanging right with them. And then even in the SEC tournament, we were tied going to the 7th, I believe, and then we just kind of ran out of gas. But I mean, for a team like that, you just got to play perfect, and I think that weekend we really did.
Yeah, I mean, you guys slayed some giants in the SEC. I think the whole team here agrees that you guys probably should have been in the tournament in the postseason. You guys did in the SEC tournament. It was fun to watch. I hated seeing you guys beat us, but hey, man, that's baseball. It was fun. You kind of touched on it a little bit as far as the game itself, but what was it that you had to learn personally or change or adapt coming from Hartford to Kentucky to play in the SEC? What was that like for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was just really adjusting to the pitching. Like I said earlier, you have dudes throwing 95 plus every weekend who can spot 3 pitches for strikes. I think that was the biggest difference. Really, in any count, you can get any pitch at any time. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, is just seeing better pitching and just really getting used to it. And I mean, I kind of started off a little slow, especially in the fall. And then when we got back, it was the same thing. Like, I really just needed to get more reps. And I mean, once I felt comfortable, it was fine. But I really think the pitching was the biggest part, because it's that much better.
Right. I mean, I have to imagine being in Connecticut, there's not a lot of time on the field in the colder months.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that weird to kind of be able to be on the field or be outside during some of those months that you normally wouldn't have been while you were at Kentucky?
Yeah, so it was actually funny. I mean, this year in Kentucky, for some weird reason, it was freezing cold, and we got so much ice in the preseason. But I mean, there's a lot of credit due to our people who manage our field and our managers for shoveling that stuff off and letting us get out there. I know up here, at least, we get like 1 or 2 feet of snow at a time, and it takes a little longer to shovel off, or even shovel off at all. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird coming from up here, being inside a majority of the preseason, to going down there and being able to get out and see live pitching. I think that's the biggest thing, because hitting inside in a tunnel where it's really not light, I mean, it's a little tricky, but once you're outside, it feels right. And I think that probably really helped our team in the beginning, being able to be outside and then just get right with it when the game started.
For sure. Were you the guy on the team that didn't wear sleeves when other guys were covered up?
I still wear sleeves. I know I'm from up here, and my teammates and coaches always told me, like, "Oh, you're used to this and stuff." And I'm literally like, "Hey, this weather still sucks. Like, I still hate playing in 35 degrees, and I'm still freezing out here." But I mean, I was just used to it at that point. We had dudes from California and Florida, and you could just tell that they hadn't really played much weather like that before. But yeah, I definitely, I had 4 years plus high school with cold weather, so I was already used to it.
Yeah, for sure. You guys have a turf field at Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an old school guy. I like the grass and the dirt. What's your preference?
There's really nothing better than a beautiful like grass field. I remember we went to A&M, Florida, and South Carolina. And those were easily three of the nicest grass fields I've ever been on. The grass was so soft, the dirt was immaculate. And, I'm the same way. I love grass fields, especially if they're maintained right. I know LSU is a nice grass field, but I think with us being I think we are the most northern SEC school, and we still do get that ice and that snow sometimes. I think just having turf is really easier. I know in the beginning of the year, we had a series at High Point, or sorry, not at High Point. They came to us. We played High Point, and it actually snowed on Saturday. So we did a doubleheader Friday, no game Saturday, shoveled the field off, played Sunday. And, I think if we have grass, we probably don't get that game in. So just things like that. But no, I love a grass field, especially the very nice ones.
For sure. Did you, you were there at Kentucky there for the year. Did you get to immerse yourself into the rivalry with Louisville that exists there in Kentucky?
I mean, I knew there was a rivalry going in, and I actually didn't get to play in the game because the previous weekend I got a ball off my finger when I was bunting, so I had to sit out for that one. But I know, talking to people around and even just seeing in the fall with football and then the winter with basketball, how much the two schools aren't fans of each other. But no, it was a cool environment to be in, especially we played at Louisville. So, yeah, I have that northern accent.
That's all right. That's all right.
But, yeah, it was a really cool environment. It was a good game. But, I know at the end of the day, like the two programs respect each other because we're both competitive. We're both good programs. But it definitely was cool to be a part of that. And especially, me growing up, I watched Kentucky basketball all the time. And I knew even growing up that Louisville and Kentucky didn't like each other. So it was cool to be a part of it.
Yeah. You're supposed to say their name wrong when you're a Wildcat.
Yeah.
Part of it. You're supposed to say their name wrong. Outside of baseball, what do you do? What are your hobbies? What other sports do you like to play?
Yeah. I grew up playing football and basketball. I played basketball in high school. I still love playing pickup with my buddies when I'm home, just shooting hoops at Kentucky in the rec gym. Other than that, really not much. Baseball kind of takes up a lot of my time. I actually love skiing, which is kind of random, but especially from being up here, we get snow all the time. So I do love to ski, but it's been tough with baseball because, you're not supposed to, just in case you get hurt or something. But really just baseball takes up most of my time, but I just try and do other things just to keep my mind fresh. But I'd say basketball is definitely probably my other favorite thing to do.
That's awesome. What are your plans for the summer? What is John Thrasher doing this summer, man?
Yeah. So I have to go back down to Kentucky in 2 weeks. I'm home right now. I got to take a summer class for a couple weeks, and then that ends. I think really just kind of figuring out my next step, just staying in baseball shape as best as I can, and just being ready for whatever happens, whether it's baseball or my professional career. So I think really just kind of figuring out my next step and where I kind of want to see myself in whatever 5 or 10 years.
I think we lost Beaver there. He lost a little connection. So I can pick on you a little bit by myself. No, you guys got to play, like I said, Giants earlier, Vanderbilt, LSU, Tennessee. Going into that tournament, from an outside perspective, it's kind of one of those things like, hey, they got nothing to lose. They're playing with house money.
Yep.
Did you guys have that same mindset?
That's hilarious that you say that, because literally our hitting coach for the past 3 weeks has just literally been saying house money every game, before every game. And I think really that just sums it up perfectly. We weren't expected to beat Tennessee. We weren't expected to make a run in the SEC tournament. So it's like, why not just play free and just see what happens and literally just play with house money? Because we weren't supposed to be in the semifinals. But even for me, I knew that whole time that we belonged, and I never felt like we were going to lose. And I think that just sums up perfectly that I was just playing with house money and just pretty much seeing what happens.
Yeah. What did you guys do during those rain delays when you knew that there was going to be some time that you had to wait? Was it separate from baseball, or did you guys kind of mess around and do something baseball?
Yeah. So if I remember correctly from last week, most of our rain delays were actually before we got to the field. So we were actually at our hotel. We pretty much, at least me and my roommate, we kind of just hung out and relaxed. Baseball is pretty taxing on the body. So it's pretty important just to kind of relax and hang out during those times, but still kind of just try and stay mentally focused and locked in for, whenever we have to leave. But really, we just hung out, and I hung with teammates, went to other people's rooms, and just kind of, just like BS'd with them. But that's pretty much it. Just kind of staying ready for whenever our opportunity was.
Yeah, well, I never knew this, but do all the teams kind of generally stay in the same hotel, or is there a couple teams in the same hotel?
I don't know. We were alone. It was only us at ours. I don't know if that's for everyone else, but we had our own. So I guess we kind of ran that hotel for a week, but it was good though. The breakfast was unreal. So that was another little joke we had going. It's just play for the croissant French toast every morning.
Oh, nice. You didn't have the wet eggs then?
No.
Speaking of, did you see what happened with Missouri State's hotel?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. And that's unbelievable.
Have you ever come across anything like that in all the times that your teams have had to stay at hotels?
No, not even remotely close to that. I saw that on Twitter, and it was disgusting to see. That's unacceptable. Whatever hotel that was, that's just unacceptable.
Yeah, they need to get the health department out there for that.
Yeah, I think they need a little internal inspection.
Yeah. So, sorry, my feed cut out there for just a quick second, so I apologize if this kind of backs up on it. But one of the things we always like to ask guys that jump on with us is, who or what has been the biggest influence on you in baseball or in life otherwise?
Yeah, I think baseball was I'd probably say my older stepbrother. He was definitely, growing up, probably a really big influence on me. I actually always played up, even in Little League. I played up an age or two. And I think me just trying to stay even with him was always a challenge for me, being 2 years younger. But he really pushed me along and really motivated me to be better, even at a young age. And I think life, my grandfather's always been there for me, my stepdad. They've been two really influential people in my life, and have always steered me in the right direction. So I couldn't have done anything without the three of them. So they deserve a lot of credit.
Nice. Always seems like the little brother ends up being the best athlete, right?
Yeah, somehow.
So then, expanding on that a little bit, then, obviously you've been able to experience baseball at various places across the country. What's the coolest moment that you've been able to experience with baseball?
Ooh, that's a really good question, actually. I'd say there are two really good moments for me. I think one was my freshman year at Hartford. We won our tournament and went to a regional, and I think that whole experience was just really awesome for me, especially as a freshman. And I think, honestly, this past week was really another life experience for me. It's once in a lifetime. The way we were treated by the fans, by the people there. Nothing could have been done without the grounds crew, all the people that are working at that field. And I really think they just made it one of the most memorable experiences for me. And I know a lot of other people feel that way. So I think really this past week was just once in a lifetime for me. I just soaked it all in.
Yeah, for sure. You did say you were a grass field guy. That's a pretty awesome grass field to play on.
Mm-hmm.
So in I don't know if you guys got to cover it, Matt. I know you were starting to ask it, but what's your favorite sport outside of baseball? Or were you a lacrosse guy since you're from the Northeast?
No, I'm a basketball guy. I love playing pickup with my buddies and just kind of messing around on the court and just hanging with my friends and shooting hoops. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, you got some hops? Can you dunk?
I can dunk, yeah.
Did you see him attack the wall?
Yeah. I treated it like the rim. I was trying to dunk, hit the ball.
So then going back to a little more baseball stuff, if there's one pitcher all time that you could face, who would you want to face and why?
Ooh, that's tough. I honestly have to say Nolan Ryan. Obviously, the dude throws gas. I think he's also one of the best pitchers of all time. But I really think just standing in the box and seeing that fastball, I mean, it would just, I'd probably be, at a loss of words. But I always have wanted to see what it's like in person, just facing that. And I mean, honestly, probably Ben Joyce is pretty similar to that, but. It's a whole different animal when you're seeing 100 plus. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there is, whatever truth there is to it, but they did measure things a little bit differently from a different perspective then. And the possibility of him hitting 108, like the speculation is out there, is pretty
wild.
Wild.
I mean, I don't doubt it. That dude threw gas.
The greatest baseball question of all time. How many Cy Youngs did Nolan Ryan win?
I have no idea.
Zero.
No way.
Yeah.
Never won one.
How's that possible?
I know. How is that possible?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We're spitting seeds and dropping knowledge here, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea. I would have at least guessed like 5 to 10, but 0.
Right.
Not many people. They usually say 7 because of the no hitters, but he never won one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. I had no idea.
And then, what stadium or what field would you like to play on all time as well?
Ooh. Well, I'm a little biased. I'm a Yankees fan. I'd have to say Old Yankee Stadium, but probably in reality, Fenway Park. I mean, I hate the Red Sox, but every time I've gone there, it's just like it's that old feeling where it's like this is just like classic baseball, and the stadium is really built into the city like it was whenever it was constructed, like the 1910s or whatever it was. But that field, it's beautiful, obviously the Green Monster, but it just has that really retro feeling to it, and I really appreciate that as a fan.
It pops up on you in the city of Boston, man. It's weird to walk up to it and see it.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, I've been to Boston a handful of times. I played summer ball in Massachusetts twice. And so I went to a couple Red Sox games. And, yeah, I mean, I like the city of Boston. I got nothing against them. I just hate their sports teams. It's a great city. I'd probably pick it over New York, honestly. But, it's an awesome field. It's an awesome environment.
So then what's the coolest place that you've traveled to then? Obviously, you've been a lot of places for baseball.
That's tough.
It doesn't need to be baseball either, just coolest place ever.
That's tough. I got 2. I'd say baseball. This year, I think A&M was the coolest place. Obviously me growing up, I watched SEC baseball, and, I know the whole like 12th man there kind of thing, and you can really feel it when you're playing there. And obviously the stadium's beautiful and everything, but I think just the fans make it, really a great experience. Like same thing with Arkansas. Those fans are crazy. And it's cool, being a player and just being able to take all that in. I think probably the coolest place I went, just like non-baseball related, was Santa Barbara, California. We did play baseball there, but I think just really like the whole scenery was just beautiful. And at the field, you got the mountains in the back, and then driving back for our flight, we're on the Pacific Coast Highway. You just see the ocean, and it's just a beautiful drive. And it's really beautiful out there.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. We've actually taken up, I mean, a good bit more time than what we had originally anticipated. But we gotta ask you. Like I said, you were a very passionate guy, obviously very well spoken, class act kind of guy. You seemed like a great fit to be an ambassador for Chinook. What is that like for you, being able to get sponsored by a sunflower seed company?
Yeah, it's in the works right now. They sent me an email with the details, and I just got to reply back to it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always been a huge sunflower enthusiast, so even my stepdad used to literally order them. I forget what the company was, but he would order boxes of them, and we'd go through them all baseball season. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool to be sponsored by Sunflower Seed Company.
So have you ever had the chance to try Chinook, or is this something that's going to be new for you too?
This is new, yeah. This is new.
Oh, bud, you're about to have your mind blown.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. Yeah, you're going to have to follow up with us, dude.
Oh,
so
awesome.
we, at the beginning of this season, we just decided to start covering baseball ourselves just to have fun as three dads.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, man, if all I get is one free bag of seeds, I'm going to call it a successful career. And we ended up getting linked with Chinook. And just like you, we were cracked pepper guys before, yep. Except for Matt. He's the weird ball with the sweet and spicy. But, man, they sent us some stuff, and, man, we've been smitten ever since. We haven't touched anything else. It's just been an absolute blast being able to interact with them. Flavors really are legit, dude. You're going to enjoy it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but let us know. We'll help you blast all your stuff out there for the sponsorship and work with you to get some of the Kentucky guys going. You'll have to follow up with us. Let us know what your favorite flavors are once you get to trying, man. Definitely our probably house favorite is what you probably got to say, Hatch chili, Matt.
Yeah, for sure.
That sounds really good.
Oh, bud,
that sounds really good.
The cinnamon toast is sneaky good.
Cinnamon toast flavor.
Oh yeah!
Wow!
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
that's unreal. Oh, I can't wait now. That's because that's one of my favorite things to eat. So
if that's
man,
that's the siege right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't know if they come in the sampler stuff. So if they don't end up having them, you got to reach out to me. I'll send you some bags.
All right, I will.
All right, bud. Well, yeah, we're there at about a half hour. I know we've kept you a little bit longer than what we promised, but
that's
John,
right.
The conversation has been fantastic. It's been a blast catching up with you. We look forward to chatting some ball down the line with you. Definitely anytime you want to come back on and chat, we're more than happy to have you if you want to analyze some ball in the future with us.
Yeah, that would be great. I appreciate you guys doing this.
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
Good luck this summer.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy that family reunion and the fresh haircut.
Yep, thank you.
Take it easy, bud.
All right.